Welcome everybody. This is Dimitri and today I am presenting you with this is a new form of content I'm going to be doing. It's whiteboard style content here. Okay. And we are going to be doing series here. I like it. It's going to be more of a lecture style form of content to break down the conceptual nuances of striking that can sometimes be missed in a traditional classroom or academic gym type of setting. Okay, this is definitely more of like a college lecture style of content that we're going to be doing a breakdown here. Okay, so counter striking 101 is the focus. Counter striking is the focus for this series, and today we're going to start with the Module 1.1, why counter-striking, or why counter-strike to begin with here. Okay, so let's get into what is counter-striking, okay, and why is counter-striking good? How can it be applied? Okay, so in counter-striking, or in striking, there is usually two forces. Okay, this is opponent 1, user 1, 2. Okay, when we are in a traditional striking situation, there's two opposing forces that are trying to get or direct energy to the other opponent's off buttons. This is fundamentally what it comes down to in striking, right? And this could be the chin, temple, okay, solar plexus, okay, any sorts of damage that leads to finish. Okay, this is the dynamic of a fight. Now this diagram that I created here, okay, is very fundamental. This is the game that is being played. Okay, this is the game that both users, I like to use the word users, both players, both fighters in the ring are agreeing to playing. I have force, I'm trying to take you out, I'm trying to finish you. You have force, you're trying to take me out, trying to finish me. Obviously, there's a technical scoring aspect to this game as well. We're not going to get into that as much. We're going to focus on this fundamental game of trying to actually wipe out and finish your opponent and take away their consciousness in that moment, right? Okay, so now let's erase all this. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna show you guys and demonstrate the counter-striking dynamic. It's a little bit different. Okay, so this is player 1 right here. He or she has a method of channeling and directing energy with the goal of doing damage to player B. Okay, now player B, this is counter fighter. Okay, player B is going to be patient, whereas player A, the traditional, I'll get more used to this as we do this more, guys. My apologies for the handwriting. The traditional fighter, okay, is maybe more fearful, more traditional minded. I'm going to be first. I don't care what they're going to do. I know my power is stronger, and essentially I am just going to go for the kill. This could be out of fear or out of self-knowledge, right? Could be a very dangerous individual, physically capable as well as, accurate, all that stuff. But the counterfighter B has a different type of mentality. Counterfighter B, okay, is actually waiting, and this is optimal opponent for a counterfighter. Someone who's just going to go first with big energy forward. Okay? Now, what counterfighter B is going to be doing, or fighter B, is going to be walking with patience. This is one of the core principles of counterfighting, which we'll get into later. Patience. Okay? Patience and knowledge. These two things are the two primary knowledge, you could say knowledge or understanding. Patience and understanding, patience and knowledge. Primary foundation, okay, for the counterfighter. Alright, so the counter-striking dynamic is counterfighter B, or fighter B, may send forward, this is a probe. Look how small the arrow is. It's a probe. Okay? Maybe a feint, flicking out a jab, something. Okay? To get a reaction. Or read, we can call it. I like using the word read. So counterfighter B, counterfighter, okay, fighter B is going to be probing using light strikes, non-committal strikes, okay, to draw out big reactions or reads, okay, from a place of not being in danger, which is going to just require a basic understanding of range and timing and weight distribution of the opponent and the optimum time to strike, so that they're not in the lane of fire of their opponent's fireball that's going to get sent. Okay, so this is strategy. This is step one of the counterfighter dynamic. Probe and read. Okay. We're going to do this a couple of times as the counterfighter is going to repetitively probe and read, and is going to be operating from, once again, a patient level of composure, and it requires patient to probe and read, and doing the probe and read will eventually lead to the inevitable knowledge of our opponent that we are presented with as the counterfighter. So that's the general underlying game of the counterfighter versus traditional aggressive fighter dynamic. Okay, counterfighter is aiming to first probe and read to get the knowledge of the opponent, when the opponent likes to strike, how they like to strike back. Is the opponent striking back with intention to kill, or is the opponent probing back off of their probe, which is going to lead to another layer of probing and counterfighting and whatnot. Okay, but now step two, okay, two, in the counterfighting game, okay, is going to be capitalization. Okay, so here's going to be the dynamic. We got A, same dynamic, guys. B's counterfighter, counter, and we'll say trad for traditional. Okay, so we already got the probe, right? So basically what's going to happen is, now off of the initial knowledge of the first probe, we know, maybe second, third probe, we know that this guy over here likes big reaction from probe, from small probe, from small probe. Okay, so we're going to send out the small probe. Small probe is going to get met with a very, very big inner attack, okay, that is coming directly at us. All right, now the counterfighter has different ways of manipulating and moving around this force, and it depends on the strike. Obviously, this is a very directed straight strike, as represented by this thick arrow pointing straight at us here, okay, us being the counterfighter down here. Now obviously I don't want to meet them up the middle with a small probe. My force is going to be much less than theirs, and I will lose that battle every time. So what I'm actually going to do is, they have fully now committed themselves. Okay, let's actually change this arrow a little bit. They have fully committed themselves here, all the way into our space. So what we are going to do is, we're going to move out of the way of their force. Okay, move out of the way of their force. Now, from this new position, we can strike big. Okay, this is one form of counterfighting, first evading and then attacking. Or there's another form of counterfighting. Okay, so this real quick, I'm just going to label this. This is move and move to strike. But there are certain formations of, or certain systems of operating here, using split. I know this is getting kind of confusing here, but this scenario over here is moving with a strike coming up in the middle. This is called splitting, which we're going to get into the technical, how to actually split, the actual techniques, all that, but this is conceptual today. We're just talking conceptual. So splitting is move plus strike. Different game. Okay, it's having me undo automatically. My apologies, but move plus strike here. Okay, so we have a move and strike over here, and then we have move plus strike over here. And as you can see, the arrow's moving over here, but from the arrow, from the movement of arrow, there is strikes or direct energy transport going around their energy towards a target A or fighter A. Notice the arrows are going around their directed arrow. We're not meeting them up the middle. We're not meeting force with force. We're actually going around their force. And also we're moving ourselves out of the way of that force, so that there's no chance of us getting penetrated and caught by that force, that attack, essentially. Okay. Now, what I just showed today covers the fundamentals of the what and the how counter-striking can take place. Okay? We're about to get into the why counter-striking takes, why counter-striking is so powerful and why we want to use it. And we're going to actually get a little bit deeper into the what and how. The next segment of this is only available in the inner circle, $5 a month, guys. I'm going to be launching all of the content coming up for this course, as well as upcoming courses in that. It's $5 a month, and you have unlimited access to all this information, conceptual striking knowledge at your fingertips. Once again, it's $5 a month. And there are other tiers for coaching as well. If you want hands-on coaching with me and you want to have the opportunity to have access to my mind 24/7, there are tiers for that as well. Check it out, $25 a month for the Elite Circle. And we can go from there, guys. But I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Enjoyed this lesson on the fundamentals here, Counter-Striking 101. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys all in the next lesson.